Good afternoon to everyone and welcome to Global Outreach Graduation 2013. My name is Sausalito Paris. First of all, I would like to give a warm welcome to our guest speaker, Mr. Dion Pascasio, for being in this special occasion. To my parents, friends, and invited guests, a special welcome to you for being in this special occasion. For the past 3 years here at Global, I have learned about discipline, responsibility, honesty, and endurance in hardship. Things that I didn't know when I first came here. Things that I didn't realize that would help me in my daily life. I am thankful to God that He had a plan for me to be one of the students here at Global. I thank my mom for encouraging me to come to this school. I also thank Nan Anita Perdomo for supporting me these past 3 years. I thank the staff members for being patient when I gave them hard times. And to my job experienced employer, Mr. Hernan, for letting me work in his shop and for naming me the Employee of the Month. To the principal, Mr. Calvin, to our past director, Mr. Lyle Rainey, and his wife, Ms. Rose Rainey, and to Mr. Francis Wade, our director. Thank you all for teaching, encouraging, and for making me the young man that I am right now. If it wasn't for you, I don't know where I would be. To Ms. Ellen Turner and the Church of Tennessee that will continue to help me through my high school years, I appreciate your help. To Ms. Angie Harper and your team for helping me get school supplies so that I can be ready for high school. Thank you for your help. To the people that I didn't mention, I give you thanks for your consistent support. To the boys that are staying behind, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. If you make it to this day, don't think you have conquered everything. You have only conquered yourself. Thank you.
A pleasant good afternoon to one and all. My name is Judy Lopez. First of all, I would like to welcome the guest speaker, Mr. Dion Pascasio, our school director, Mr. Frankie Wade, our principal, Mr. Calvin Aviles. To my mom, I give you a special welcome. Family, friends, fellow graduates, invited guests, and staff of Global Outreach, I give you a warm welcome. I am proud to be standing here in front of you. I must say that it has not been easy because I had no confidence in myself. At the beginning of my first year, I felt like a nobody. I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. I didn't care about anybody, and I always thought negative about myself. One day, with the help of God, I made a decision to do positive things. I was encouraged and advised by my mom, Mr. Javier, Mr. Julian, Mr. Calvin. Thank you all for your encouragement. I would like to thank Mr. Javier for teaching me the basic of mechanic, which I would like to continue. To the remaining students, I encourage you never to give up, to study and work hard. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our graduation of 2013. My name is Brandon Bolin. First of all, I would like to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Dion Pascasio and his wife. My family and friends, thank you for coming. Thank you, Mom, for encouraging me when I wanted to quit. For the past 3 years, I have learned to be a hard worker and a responsible young man, and most important, a godly young man. I would like to thank all the staff for influencing me to go the right path in life. Thank you, Mr. Calvin, for teaching me reading, and Mr. Jason for teaching me basic in maths. Thank you, Mr. Manolo, for teaching me all the basic in woodworking, and also Mr. Carlos Alpuche for allowing me to do my job experience in his wood shop. Thank you all for coming. Thanks, and may God bless you.
A pleasant good afternoon. I am Jacob Ibanez. First of all, I would like to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Dion Pascasio, and also his wife, Mrs. Pascasio, and our invited guests. To my family and friends, I am so happy that you are here. The past 3 years at Global has made a great impact on my life. I have learned many qualities, but the most important is being a godly young man. Thank you, Mr. Francis Wade, for opening my eyes to see what the real world is all about, for mentoring me and preparing me to go and face that real world. Thank you, Mr. Calvin Aviles, for believing in me and showing me that anything can be done. It doesn't matter what it is or what it takes. All that advice I treasure in my heart. To all staff, thank you for the great influence. Thank you, Mr. Javier Castro, for teaching me the basic in auto mechanics. And Mr. James Saldiva, for allowing me to do my job training at his mechanic shop. To friends that I'm leaving, be strong, for there will be hard times, but in the end, it pays off, and the world will always be waiting for you. But opportunities just come once. Thank you.
A pleasant good afternoon to one and all. My name is Edwin Corrado. I would like to welcome my family, friends, and the guest speaker, Mr. Dian Pascasio, to the director, Pastor Frankie Wade, and the principal, Mr. Calvin Aviles, and the staff member of Global Outreach, are people who taught me how to live a godly life, to not to give up any dream that I want to accomplish. As I look at this year, I have been in this school, I have seen a change in my life, also in my fellow graduates. I would like to give thanks to my mother for encouraging me to not to give up in anything that I want to be understand that future and life is not easy. A special thanks to Pastor Frankie Wade and Mr. Calvin Aviles for encouraging me. I would like to give thanks to Mr. Yorby for teaching me the basic of woodworking. And also Mr. Carlos Alpuche for giving me the opportunity to be in his wood shop. And I'm happy that I accomplished my dream. I want to say to you friends, in this school life is not easy. Do not give up. May God bless you and keep you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Raheem Martinez. Thank you for coming to our graduation 2013. It is an honor to have Mr. Dian Pascasio as our guest speaker. For the past years, I am very grateful for what Global has done has put in my heart. Self-awareness, conscience, imagination, willpower. A four-letter word, work. For there were times I wanted to quit, but thanks to my mom, Barbara Martinez, and friends who encouraged me to finish. And I thank Mr. Calvin for teaching me discipline, for there were times I crossed the line, but he brought me back on the right track, and I thank him very much. A special thanks to Mr. Julian and Mr. Javier for teaching me reading, maths, and mechanics. Special thanks to Mr. Bobby Burns for allowing me to work at his mechanic shop. I learned a lot from him, and I am glad I went there. Dr. Larry, thank you for encouraging me and fixing my teeth. Also, I would like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Matthew Folsom for sponsoring me. Last but not least, I would like to thank Pastor Frankie Wade and his family for impacting my life with the Word of God, for I know that there is power in the name of Jesus. For my Christian brothers that I leave behind, I say this to you. You sow a thought, you reap an act. You sow an act, you reap a habit. You sow a habit, you reap a character. You sow a character, you reap your destiny. Thank you for coming at Global Graduation 2013. Have a good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is David Na. I would like to welcome and thank my mom. I especially want to thank Mrs. Martha Spence for supporting and encouraging me. I want to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Dion Pascasio. I want to thank Mr. Coleman for letting me work at his shop for my job training. There was a time earlier in my senior year that I just wanted to quit, as Paul was a disciple to Luke. My mom, David Lane, and Dr. Larry were mentors to me and encouraged me to stay in school and graduate. As I stand here now, I can proudly say that I am a graduate of 2013. For the ones that I left behind, don't make the same mistake that I did, but take it as an example and do the right thing. Thank you for letting me share this with you.
A pleasant good afternoon to one and all. My name is Mario Franco. First of all, I would like to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Dion Pascasio. I also want to thank my mom who has been so special to me and my family and friends. A special welcome to the staff of Global, fellow students and invited guests. The moment has come which I was longing for since the first day I came to Global Outreach. I can't believe that this day is really here. It's with great pleasure that I stand here in front of you all, expressing all my joy and hardship. I give thanks to God for helping me achieve my goals. I thank my mother for encouraging me and being there for me. I also thank Mr. David and Mrs. Susan Lane for helping me and encouraging me, and Mr. Francis Wade for teaching me about God. Mr. Calvin, I learned a lot from you about being a man, and I hope when you look at me that you see a boy that has truly become a man. Mr. Lyle and Miss Rose Rainey, it is great to see you again here celebrating with us. Mr. Bobby Burns, thank you for teaching me more about mechanics at your shop. To the students left behind, be good and do your best, for God has a great plan for you. At last but not least, I give a very special thanks to Mr. Javier Castro for teaching me auto mechanics. Thank you all.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Walter Esquivel. First of all, I would like to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Dion Pascasio. We appreciate you for being here at our 2013 graduation. In these past 2 years, I learned how to be a godly young man, and I learned that God has different kinds of plans for my life, and how to stand apart from my life and observe my thoughts and actions, and know right from wrong. I would like to thank Mr. Javier Castro for teaching me all the basics of mechanics, and I would like to thank Mr. Calvin Avilés and Mr. Francis Wade, our director, for the good advices which will guide me all of my life. To Mr. Jackie and Mrs. Brenda Spell, thank you for sponsoring me these past 3 years. Mr. Milton, thank you for allowing me to do my job training at your mechanic shop. A special thank you to all staff and others who have a place in my life and made a great change in me. For the boys that are staying behind, keep up on the right track. Thank you all.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Isabella Million. First of all, I would like to welcome my family, friends, and other invited guests. A special welcome to Mr. Dion Pascasio. Sir, we truly are grateful and honored to have you as our guest speaker. During the past 3 years at Global, I have learned many things. I have learned the basic of woodworking, which I would like to thank Mr. Yerby for. The most important thing I have learned is about God. In my first year, I asked Jesus into my heart. On experiencing the first graduation, I started to dream, and my goal became to be standing here. And now, here I am, proudly standing here, happy that I have finished the race that I started. I would like to thank all the staff for teaching and encouraging me, and for pushing me ahead. Thanks to Highland Baptist Church for sponsoring me. A special thanks to my family for loving me and for never giving up on me. Also to Mr. Frankie Wade and Calvin Avilés for supporting me and believing in me. Thanks to Mr. Hernan
for letting do my job experience in his wood shop. To the guys that are staying behind, I encourage you, be strong, and one day you'll be standing here. Thank you.